I cannot think of a better Christmas present than a Yamaha TT-R 50.
No, I can't imagine my life not being a motorcycle, because that's awesome.
We did that before you ruined Dirt Rider magazine. I could tell that story if somebody would just request that in the chat. I'm going to talk about tequila later on tonight in the show when I figure out how to push all the buttons. I told him, I said, I can get Ricky on in 10 seconds. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, man. Yeah, here we are. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Live from Pahrump, Nevada, the Valley of the Dirt People, it's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday with your hosts, Jimmy Lewis and Logan Tyler.
And we are live, I hope. I really hope there's sound, too. Welcome to the show. It's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, episode number, I don't know. 237, I'm guessing. It sounds good to me. If there's no sound, although it says it sounds good, but that's what Janie was talking to Mark about in the chat. So if you want to do this show live, you can chat with us. Ask your questions. We answer most of them without referring to a reference manual. And got some stuff going on in the show. It's looking really good. It's looking good for a good show. My name is Jimmy Lewis. I'm a washed-up motorcycle journalist, ex-racer. I raced, did some racing. Like 3 weeks ago, I raced this one time. And I used to run a riding school, and our riding school was so good that everybody copied us, and they were so bad at copying us, they got people hurt, and they made the insurance industry go so crooked that we can't actually do a school anymore because I can't afford insurance. So, this is the emergency camera. If you wonder what the sipping stuff tonight is, the 3 R's. This is really, really good, by the way. I'm going to talk about tequila later on tonight in the show when I figure out how to push all the buttons. But we do have a really, really special guest tonight. We've got a banging lineup of special guests. I'd like to thank Mark Daniels for joining in, always there. He didn't say what kind of tequila he's having tonight, but he's having shredded burrito, chicken burritos. It's good. Sawyer has a question. He wants to know, he's going to go on the Malcolm Smith Baja 2025 ride, and he wants to know if there are any recommendations on stuff to take that will make the trip more enjoyable. Well, you don't have to take tequila because you can get it down there. So other than that, take whatever you take when you go on long rides. I think that would be and stickers. Take some stickers and give them to the kids because they love the stickers down in Baja. So all good. Oh, Mark's sipping on the Milagro. So yeah, tonight's the 3 R's. Pretty good. This may be the last show before Christmas. So I am going to. I don't know why my board up here is acting up. I can't see what I want to see on the screen, and it's hard to do this. There we go. That's what I wanted to see right there. Hard to do it without referring to a reference manual, but I pull it off. So it's a solo show tonight, except I do have special guests, and we're going to get right into it pretty quickly here, because this is the Christmas show, and because I want to tell you a little story. Whoa.
That's loud. Okay, so how come I can't make that go away? It should.
A special thing. Hey, somebody's got a Dakar question. We're going to get to this, Eduardo. Dakar question: Honda team versus KTM. Who wins the Touareg? What? Why the Touareg? So that's something you can think about while you're on hold. But I'm going to hang up on you. And so tonight's special guest is the.
There's a guest tonight.
Yeah. So
besides me.
Yeah, but I got the special guest. You're the regular, kind of normal average. Okay, so the special guest tonight all the way from my garage. I woke it up. It's the TT-R, the Yamaha TT-R 50. Hi, Yamaha TT-R 50.
Hey, who is this?
Yeah, it's Yamaha TT-R 50.
Oh.
Hi.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, who is this?
My name's Jim. Remember Jimmy? I'm the one that took you out the other day.
Yeah. I've actually got some things I'd like to discuss with you about how you treated me the other day.
Well, I had the kids ride you.
You know what those kids are doing?
Yeah, I wanted to have a test of you up on dirtbiketest.com, but I asked them how your power was and how your suspension was, and all they would say was good. And so
because I am good.
It would have been a 4-year test, a 4-word test. Good, 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 and good.
What else do you need to know about a 50cc play bike for a kid? I'm perfect.
Okay, so the reason I wanted to have you on the show is because I wanted to tell a story about dirt bikes and Christmas and Jimmy. And
thanks.
Well, I'd like to talk about myself every once in a while. I don't like to, but I have to. It's part of this job. And so what I was gonna tell you is my very first motorcycle was a little blue motorcycle too.
You probably had one of those two-stroke two-stroke models.
No, my dad found a motorcycle on the center divider of a freeway of all places, and brought it home. And because he knew me and my brother had talked about wanting a motorcycle, and it didn't run, of course. And so it was a Honda CT-70, one of those step-through frame things. It was a blue one, I think.
I remember those blue ones. I mean, I wasn't alive then.
19. I don't know if it was a 68 or a 1970. The CT-70 aficionados would know this. But
yeah, they don't blow you up.
So,
you get that right.
But anyway, so my first little motorcycle was a blue motorcycle. And so this being the Christmas season, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I can't imagine my life without motorcycles, just like you.
No, I can't imagine my life not being a motorcycle because that's awesome.
Yeah. And so Yamaha, of course, a big sponsor of the show. That's why we have the TT-R 50 in here doing the interview. It could be it could really be any brand. The brand isn't important, but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I like you. I've owned one of you before. Electric start. That's
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Amen, brother. You know how much easier that is for me? I don't have to get my kicked all day.
Yeah, you don't want to be kicked, but
no, I just want to go riding, man.
Yeah, electric start is pretty cool, and you are indestructible. And when a big kid like me was riding you around in my backyard, does one of your brothers remember being there at my house when we used to ride mini bike races in the backyard?
Yeah, I have a lot of family, as you know. I come from a long line of Yamaha, power sports vehicles, and there's a lot of my cousins and second cousins have been in your garages, and they've all told me about you. And so when I got the call from Yamaha to go to your house and help some kids, learn how to ride and have some fun, I was a little nervous because you don't have the best reputation all the time. I'm not gonna lie to you, but turns out you ride mini bikes kind of aggressively. I said it.
Well, so I've rode, like I said, I rode your brothers around. But back in the day when I was just a little kid, I was like, I wanted a motorcycle so bad. And so I got the CT-70 and we fixed it and then we broke it in half. Don't get scared. I don't want to scare you.
No, see, I don't have that step-through frame thing that causes a little weakness in the foot peg, or actually foot platform peg area.
Yeah, and then so luckily my dad knew that we really liked motorcycles, and we somehow got another one. We got a red one, and that was a Christmas present. But I had to share it with my brother. And,
what a terrible Christmas present to share with your brother. But at least it was a motorcycle.
Yeah, it was a motorcycle. And
both got addicted.
And then we broke that in half too. That's a pressed steel step through frame, but all I wanted to do, and I knew at that point that's all I wanted to do was ride motorcycles. It was like, it's all I thought about when I was in school. And so I wasn't doing that good in school. So the CT-70 would get taken away. And usually the frame cracks were getting longer at the same time as it was getting taken away. And then I have to do better at homework and do my school. And then when I wasn't able to go riding, I'd find other things to do, like throw tomatoes at cop cars. That got me in a little bit of trouble too. And so if I was riding my motorcycle, I technically wasn't getting in trouble. And this was kind of how I grew up. And after we broke the other CT-70 in half, don't get scared. I'm not that mean. I've never broken a TT-R in half.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. So I got an XR80. I got a little Honda XR80 for Christmas. I had to earn half of it. I had to rake leaves and do all kinds of chores around our little ranch to get it. It was like, I think it was $359 is how much money I had to earn. And back then that was a lot of money. I think I got my rate way up to like $3 an hour or something, which, you know.
Back then that was a lot of money because you're pretty old.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got a little bit of gray going on, but it's, don't you worry. I can still wring your neck. Anyhow, yeah, I got an XR80 and all I did was ride. And I knew that like it just, that's what I wanted to do. And I've always told people this is, I can't imagine what my life would have been like without having motorcycles. And now I see kids that don't get something that they really love. And I don't think all kids are into bikes like you, TT-R 50.
No, they're not. Unfortunately, I spent my time in the showroom at a dealership, and there'd be kids walking by out on the street. They wouldn't even come inside to look at a dirt bike. It didn't make any damn sense to me because they're pretty awesome.
They were just staring at screens.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're looking. Is that what they're looking at?
I think so.
It's like a little movie in their pocket or something.
Yeah, but the cool thing was that I found what I liked, and even on the CT-70, I would break it all the time, and we would. So I learned how to work on it and fix things, and so not only was I learned kind of some responsibility. I learned some mechanical aptitude because that was junk. It's not. This is the problem with you is you are so good now being durable and indestructible. I mean, all a kid would ever really need to know how to do is put gas in your tank.
Yeah.
And maybe clean the air filter, your air filter every once in a while.
Maybe. Like best case scenario, you clean the air filter once a year.
Yeah, and then maybe change the oil.
Not speaking as an official Yamaha service representative.
Right.
But speaking as a reality representative.
Uh-huh.
If you put decomposed squirrel guts in my tank, I'm going to run fine for 10, 15 years. If you put gas from the lawnmower shed, I'm going to last a lifetime. No problem.
Yeah. So
that's it. You can check the oil and change it whatever you want to. Honestly, it's not that important.
That's just showing love, but it's good that, if you were a kid, like my parents told me, if you break it, you have to fix it. And I had to pay to fix it, and I had to learn how to maintain it and work on it. So I learned that. And the other thing, and this is what, and you probably know this, when they're staring, when you're in the showroom and they're walking around, mom's always going, "Ooh, I don't know, it could be dangerous. What if little Johnny or little Sally gets hurt on you?"
Yeah, I'm really close to the ground.
Yeah,
and I've seen some kids fall down just walking down the street. It's been worse than riding me, man. They're clumsy. You have a really long throttle stop too, by the way. I don't know if you. Yeah, you can tone. I mean, I think I come straight from the factory at about a quarter throttle, maybe an eighth throttle, max throttle opening. You can walk backwards faster than I can go.
Yeah. So
you're no problem catching me.
You're tunable, but here's so for all the parents out there, when you're trying to figure out like, hey, what about my kid on a motorcycle or something? Well, you kind of have to learn what happens when you get hurt. Like if you never get hurt, if you live in a bubble, in like a bubble wrap kid or something, I don't know. What do they call those kids? Have you heard? What do they call those kids that never have any experiences and then they they get old enough to like hop on a bicycle, or they get a driver's license, they go drive into a wall, and they've never felt.
I think those are politicians.
Politicians, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So those kind of people that have never, if you get a motorcycle, kind of like a bicycle, same thing, you're going to fall over, and you're going to learn what it feels like when you fall over, and it doesn't feel good, and you might get hurt, but you're going to learn some self-preservation.
There's a lot of dangerous things in the world.
A sheltered kid. This guy named Cooper Luke calls it a sheltered kid.
You should have him on the show.
He was on the show once for a while. Yeah. I don't know what happened. These kids they grow up and they disappear. They think they're gonna go get famous someplace else. They should have hung out. But anyways, so it teaches you some mechanical responsibility, some self-preservation, and the biggest thing is it's fun to ride dirt bikes.
Yeah, of course it's fun to ride dirt bikes. You're flying on the ground.
Yeah.
And you get to twist the throttle and go faster. And you get to do skids. Have you done anything more fun than a skid ever in your life? Probably not. You probably never will.
Well, you can do skids. You can actually jump. I've jumped one of these before.
Yeah.
One of you? Yeah.
Just a skid is like pretty great.
Yeah, but I jumped one of you and I didn't break it in half like my CT-70.
I'm pretty durable. Mm-hmm. Pretty durable. Today's entry-level motorcycles are fantastic across the board. From your beginning 50s to, the under 200 cc's and all the way up to like 300 cc trail bikes. They're absolutely fantastic. And whole families can get into these things now and really just have a great weekend. And we had a good surge in COVID when everybody had like a lot of free time. Good surge where a lot of new families got into the sport, got into the recreation lifestyle, and got addicted. And, so look around your neighborhood. There's probably somebody in your neighborhood already doing this if you got any questions.
Yeah.
Well, ask.
Yeah, I was thinking like my kind of one of my goals in life now that I've had such a good life riding dirt bikes like you is to spread the word. I'm spreading the good word. Christmas time's a great time to do this. You're thinking about like what kind of gift could I really get my kid that would make a big impact on their life, that would really, and you may just if kids sometimes they lose attention span, or maybe they're not really into it. But if they're into that, or you can introduce it to them, they grow up with this, and they may leave it for a long time, but they'll come back. Because if you're like when COVID came, what did everybody do? They couldn't do the stuff they were used to be doing, and now they had to do something outside. And they remembered, hey, I rode a dirt bike when I was a kid.
Yeah, I can go to the mountains or the desert, ride around with my family, and that's all I have to do today. Pretty awesome.
Telstar Surf Company wants to know what's wrong with your voice, but you're a Yamaha TT-R 50.
Yeah, this is just how they made me.
Yeah, so it's that's the real voice. So that's what when the TT-R 50 like you talks. What age kids are you built for?
Dude, it just kind of depends on size. I've seen some really big 3-year-olds in my day, big ones. We're talking some big boys and girls. And then I've seen some really tiny 7-year-olds. So, like, what are we talking here? Like, personally, I know a lot of people that started riding when they were in their 5-6-year-old range, but heck, there's little dudes and little girls ripping at 3 and 4 years old now.
Right.
So it's really about how much size you can, because you're going to want to be able to put your feet on the ground, because you don't want to crash every time you ride. You want to be able to stop and not tip over, and that's about all you got to do.
And I think that you also you're low to the ground, so it's easy to control. Good, smoother. Yes. It's one of your friends?
Yeah, it's one of my other. That's actually an old PW 50 that's hanging out in the shop with me today.
PW, yeah.
An old PW 2-stroker.
Right.
She's spicy.
Well, speaking of that, what do you think about the little electric bikes that you're around?
I'm not supposed to like my competition, right? Like I'm supposed to be super aggressive.
I think everybody can be friends.
I love them. Yeah. I love them. They're my favorite friends in the shop right now because some kids, they don't like the sound of that motorcycle. It kind of spooks them out and it makes some noise and it gets hot. And now you can do that with a battery nowadays, and the kid can just rip in silence, and you can talk to them while they're ripping away and come slow down. You know, they can control the power with different modes on how the electric motor delivers the power, and man, they're cool. You can ride them in your backyard or in your neighbor's backyard if you throw the bike over the fence and sneak in there. You know, you can do a lot of fun stuff.
But they don't stink like you do.
They don't smell like me, no. And, you know, they don't stink like me. They're carburetors.
No, if you were like PW50, the smell of two-stroke oil in the morning, there's nothing like that. You like that, don't you?
I like it, yeah, because I'm old. You know, I'm almost 20 years old.
The TT-R50 is 20 years old?
Yeah, dude. 2006 is when I came into this world.
Oh, didn't I? Yeah, I'm learning the history lessons. I mean,
you know,
P-dubs have to be.
I don't even.
I'm thinking. I remember seeing those back
early 80s
when I was a kid in racing. So yeah, I would say 82, even earlier than that. Because my very first motorcycle race I went to, they had a PW50 class at the mini bike track, and so this would have been 1980.
I think 1980-ish is about the same time. I remember people telling me about, you know, Suzuki JR50s, PW50s.
There was Italojets.
Italojets. Weren't those like the racy guys? All the cool kids had an Italojet if they're racing.
Yeah, there was a lot of them, but the PW came along and it was shaft drive.
Shaft drive, no lube in a chain. I mean, it was one progression easier. And getting that first step to a motorcycle is the hardest part, because there's a lot of hesitation for people. They don't know if they can do it. They don't know if they want to do it. They're intrigued, but, you know, they're kind of scared, and they just need sort of that easy gateway step into just trying it, just, you know, scooting down the road a little bit in the back lot, and then if it's for them, it's going to click, and if it's not, then no harm, no foul.
So in your world, PW50 is for kids that are a little bit smaller than the kids that would ride you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like a PW50 doesn't have as big a range.
Okay.
As of kids that can fit. Like, we all kind of fit the same kids, but you can ride a TT-R50 longer as you get older, and you're going to outgrow a PW50 a little faster.
Right. And less well, you have a PW50 has oil injection. You just pour gas in it. I think they're both pretty indestructible. Yeah,
there's not a bike in this class that's very how should I say, fragile.
Right. We're
not a fragile lot. We're very robust.
Well, that's good, and no, it's good. You're friendly with the electric bikes. I like that. I just want to see.
Sure.
I want to see kids riding dirt bikes, and I'm glad you were able to come on the show.
Yeah, I got some friends that their kids, they didn't even ride bicycles first. They just rode those, you know, electric Stasics first.
Oh.
And then they were like, my kids already know how to balance, so I got them a bicycle. And I just pushed them down the road on a bicycle, and they started pedaling because they knew about balance already and momentum.
And so, if you're wondering how you're gonna get this, I got a friend here that's he delivers you free of charge to kids all over the world. He's got his own delivery service called Santa Claus.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers, but I'm interested. If a kid puts in a request with this guy's delivery service, then I would happily get in his sack and go to his house.
Interested in taking a ride with Santa Claus? I cannot think of a better Christmas present than a Yamaha TT-R 50 specifically. So
yes.
in case anybody's thinking about this, Yamaha does sponsor this show. I'll have you know. So your parent company does help us out a little bit, and
they called me and told me I had to come on the show. Actually.
Oh boy. So, anyways. Hey, TT-R 50, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
I really enjoyed hanging out and talking to you. If you need a lift, Santa's doing his thing right over here. I think
he's waiting for my ride, big red fella. Come get me.
Yeah, throw you in the sled and take it on there. Okay, so TT-R 50, time for you to go back to sleep.
All right.
And
good night, everybody.
I'll keep on getting on with the show. If you have questions for TT-R 50, I can wake him back up here in a few minutes. So I'll get this guy out of here for right now. He's making too much noise, and I'll try to do this other thing. Okay, TT-R 50. I'm gonna ring up Jesse Zeigler on the show for. Sorry, Jesse, to keep you waiting.
Oh my God, what's going on? I've been on hold for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. There was, I think. Let's see. I'm trying to
Are we
fix.
live? Is this a live show?
It's a live show. I'm trying to bring the sound back into the mix.
Kids. I got potty training kids. I'm cooking dinner. I'm
What
doing
are
dishes.
What are you feeding the kids?
Oh well, we had a lot of leftovers tonight. We had some, rice and veggies and some dino nuggets.
Right.
Just all the good processed foods.
Good. Let's see if I can get you a little louder on the board here. Hold on one
Why
second.
are you always turning down your guests?
Well, it's
weird,
a long story. If I undo this, hold on. There might be a loud pop here, but this is how this show works. I go here, and then I put this in here, and then you should be good. Are you there?
You sound just like my father-in-law when he was building our house.
Let's see.
It should work.
Okay, there we go. Oh boy. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, good. Fix things
How are
again.
the tacos and the talking and the Tuesday.
It's going good. I got some tequila. I'm drinking the 3 R's tonight, although I do have a little rant about tequila.
You added a T to the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday tequila? It's
the 5 T's. A lot of people's kids started on that PW50 that we were just talking about. Is that
what was going on when I was on hold? I heard my laptop was squeaking like an elf was talking on your show.
Yeah,
I thought it was just one of my kids. This one.
No.
What's wrong, kid? Oh, you can talk to me while I deal with kids. I'm used to it.
Oh, I thought we were going to get some information from one of your test riders.
This one's not qualified yet. She's working on it.
So you started your kids on Stasics.
Yeah, we did start. Actually, we got one of the first Stasics when Regs was still here in Murrieta. Called him up and he's like, "Can I get you one?" And that's when my oldest daughter, who's now 9, she was like 2.5. And then now I have another 2.5-year-old who's yelling at me.
Oh, that's good.
And then, and honestly, it was awesome. And I still have it. And we have a couple more of them, the newer ones with the brushless motor and a couple of different sizes. And they're just the easiest thing in the world to just keep kids riding on. And honestly, better than training wheels on a bicycle, better than anything for any kind of riding of any two-wheel thing you ever want to do with your kids. It's the best tool because it comes with built-in momentum. With the electric motor, it teaches them that momentum equals balance, and you have to have speed at somewhat, and I mean speed in a relative term, not standing still.
If I had kids, I would start them on a Strider bike. Even like
sure we
even
did
like
that.
the little,
she walked around the house on it and stuff.
The little wood one where they're kind of doing that because it just gets them kind of familiar with the balance part of it. Because
without moving, they just stand there and hold it mostly. But
the worst thing I ever see is somebody on training wheels and then just riding crooked. And
or that bike picture you see of a dad running behind his bike, he just lets him go.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I did that, but my kids had already ridden Stasics, and I was like, well, they got it probably. And sure enough, I was like, pedal your feet for power. They're like, okay, I get it. Because they would call the throttle the power, and it makes a big loud beep when you turn it on. They go, power on? I go, yeah, power on. They're like, got it, registered. So now I tell them, your feet are your power. They're like, got it.
Yeah.
And it was like no brainer.
That's
it was really easy. Yeah.
Good. So you're getting ready to start getting up way too early in the morning?
Yes, we are. We're starting our 2-week stint right after the New Year's. January 3rd through, I think it starts on the 3rd this year for the Dakar Rally, Saudi Arabia again. Good American contingent, and the Dakar Rally Daily podcast and YouTube show will be going live every day of the race. We're going to have preview show maybe this week, maybe next week. And then, Quinn Cody and Jesse Zeigler are back doing Dakar Rally Daily live. We don't have our pit correspondent locked down yet.
Oh no!
But hopefully we can find another epic.
Is he not going?
Right now, I don't think so. But this stuff always pops up at the last minute for all of us. So
Right. Because there's so much money to be made.
Anthony last year was like unbeatable. Like he was insane. He was basically an on-ground live reporter for us and got inside information before honestly anybody in the whole world had it. And he was filming in spots he wasn't supposed to. And
because he was over there. He was over there working for a UTV team, correct?
Yeah, he was doing media for a side-by-side team that I think like one of his relatives got him into, and they ended up paying for his way to go so he could do their media for him. And he ended up having a bunch of free time because the side-by-side and the motorcycle schedules are so different when they finish that he was like, I'm going to walk around and talk to people. So he just interviewed everybody all the time, and he was amazing. And yeah, hopefully we can.
Yeah. Figure something out like that. I mean, I do wait for that to come out in the morning. A lot of times,
we do a pretty good job because we have connections with people on the ground, and we can call them via WhatsApp or Messenger or any application that we can find on our phone that'll make a connection in Saudi Arabia at the time. We'll get a hold of them right after the race, and a lot of the racers even chat with us right away as long as they're having pretty calm time and they don't need to be flustered. They'll humor us and give us a call. But it's a great way to absorb the chaos and immensity of the Dakar Rally in in an hour podcast or an hour YouTube video, and you kind of get to know everything that happened, what kind of players are shaking out, what are possibilities that could happen, and really we want to see like the inside information, like how fast were they going, why this guy lost time, and try to get down into the details.
Yeah. I mean, they do like a decent surface level with the stuff on NBC Sports. You get an idea what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with the top guys, but really, especially with if some of the American guys aren't running up in the top, you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't think our contingent is as big as it was last year, correct?
No, not really, but we have the main players there this year. Plus, these motorcycle guys, they're getting into these side-by-sides in these trucks now. So now we got to talk about side-by-sides and trucks.
Oh, so you're talking about Toby and Sam.
We got Toby, Sam, Andrew Short's navigating for some golf cart driver. I don't know what he's doing.
His golf cart driver is really good.
Yeah, well, he better be because we got to talk about all the Americans out there. And,
Sarah Price, motorcycle chick too.
Another one in a car.
Golf cart driver.
Cart driving, which I don't blame him. It makes a lot of sense.
Another dirt biker, Max Eddy, who is navigating for Brock Helger. So there's a few. So it's going to be
a good mix. I think
it's going to be Dakar Daily podcast and golf carts.
Yeah, Dakar Rally Daily, and we're gonna have to talk about cars and golf carts now because there's people we like in those.
Well, you could
we appreciate Stefan Peter Hensel and
everybody else. This is
the
first year that he's not going to do the Dakar in like 36 years or something like that.
Isn't that crazy?
He's actually doing the Africa Eco race on a Yamaha Tenere.
That's cool.
And I saw that, and I instantly tried to contact him, see if he needed a water boy.
Yeah,
because this is how I got this is how I got my start in Dakar. Was he was looking for a water boy, and
like,
I got to test the Yamaha, the 750 back then, and that kind of was one of the things that sort of got the ball rolling. Thanks to Eric Pierrenard,
who EP is the man.
Got that kind of. There was so many people that kind of helped me get in that direction, and Eric was probably one of the main people that, because he knew a lot of people in that realm.
The French, they like to stick together like that.
And you want to know why I didn't get the job? I had it on all accords except for one thing.
Personality?
Oh, you're right. Thanks, Jesse. No, it was it was because I didn't speak French.
Oh yeah, well that's. I mean, the whole rally language is in French. Like
it was
not just. Yeah, and it still is like the dominant language there. I mean, for sure, English they do a lot of communications, but like I mean, if you watch the press conference or they do a thing, it's David Castera speaking in French the whole time. There's no English speaking. It was created. by the French.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
They're the
it's-
maniacs that
yeah.
started this crazy crap. So
This
like
is-
it's their world.
This is true. So you guys, you record early. It's not a live show. You act because you're not good at your craft like I am here.
No.
So you won't
No.
actually try to do it live.
Right. We have time constraints and we have an image to uphold. So we don't do a live one.
Right.
Because that would be embarrassing for us and our sponsors.
Okay.
But yeah, we get up early. We get to the studio around 5:30 or so California time, which isn't terribly early, but when you got to get there and deal with all that crap, it starts adding up every 2 weeks. And that actually works out really well because I think in Saudi Arabia, that's at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
And that puts the top motorcycle guys and gals usually finishing 4-ish. So we're kind of like waking up, checking everything, getting the story done right as they're finishing the race. So if anything crazy is happening, we're there to like, compile it and
try to unpack it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really good timing for us to like call them or send a message out on WhatsApp. Be like, hey, if you got a minute to talk, just send us a voice note or let us know. Cause they're coming in, they're winding down, they're eating dinner, and it's usually a pretty good time to catch them. So
Yeah.
timing wise works great.
I don't sleep a whole lot during that. My sleep isn't because I like to watch the tracking and kind of see what's going on and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, usually first thing in the morning, it's the stage is kind of concluded or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, sometimes I try to go to sleep before and I'll just wake up and see what happens, but you just never know.
It
Kind of
is
depends
kind of
on.
hard not to sit there and watch it, but it's annoying to watch it because a lot of times it kind of just stops and then you're like, I don't know. I know he stopped. And then they just tell you he stopped at this kilometer. You're like, I know he did. What else can you tell me? You have a helicopter right there, and I don't have Eurovision or whatever TV it takes to get live feeds from the helicopter. So
there's a lot of if you're really into it, you can go on to ADV Rider, and these guys will like pull up all these
they'll
links.
have some live feeds to like some satellite stuff.
Yeah, but you have to you literally have to be on one of those VPNs and stuff because a lot of the stuff you just can't get in the United States. You have to you have to pretend like you're in Spain or in France, and
and that's honestly why we started it. Quinn obviously has great experience there and knows a lot of the team. He's involved in the KTM program in R&D and development aspect of street motorcycles. And
was that the dude that rode up to my house the other day because the road book he was riding ended here?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, ask him about that.
I don't know. I will ask you.
You want to know what's really funny is so then, because I know how to do this stuff. Then I tracked him down. I tracked him down out in the desert. Tracked this guy down because I'm good at this. I'm like a tracker.
You're like
and he's out there. He's out there working with the son of the guy who built my factory BMW rally bike.
Really?
Yeah, it's such a weird small world.
It is a small world.
It's such a crazy small world.
Yeah,
but
they say that bivouac is impressive, but it's really small. Like when you get in it, because there's all the same people are there, and they all know the same information. There's not a lot of secrets.
Yeah,
past secrets. There might be some future planning secrets, but everything in the past everybody knows about. So we decided to run a podcast. We did that for a couple of years, and last year we went video with the podcast. So the YouTube thing really opened it up to a lot of new people who didn't really remember it, but they were like, "Oh, I used to follow this back in the day. This is great. I can just watch this YouTube video and I know everything that happened, and then the NBC's thing will be up and they can watch that too." So it's pretty cool.
So Eduardo Rojas says no chance to win the Dakar this year. KTM team. He says Honda HRC team more strong and more money this year.
They are strong. Obviously, I'd say Honda's arguably the strongest team for sure. But KTM's got 3 really fast people that have won a lot of rallies and won some championships, and I'm never going to count them out. Certainly not before the 2-week race starts.
Hey, you can't. You obviously, you can never count. You can never count those guys out.
No,
you can't count the Honda guys out, and you can't count the Hero guys out.
Absolutely not.
Because they ran strong all last year. Branch was incredible all year, and now they have Nacho, who was
and that bike was good last year for Ross, and I'm sure it's even getting better. And Nacho can
it's really fast.
Blitz out front if he has to.
Yeah, it's a really fast bike. We know this, and it was a big heavy bike last year, and they obviously kind of saw the writing on the wall. And I know they're on an all new bike. I mean, that's probably not the best thing. I think this year, everybody's kind of on a pretty new platform. Even the Honda is new.
Yep,
I know
sure.
the KTM is they're constantly evolving. It was new last year. I think it's new again this year.
Yeah, it's evolving.
Everything's. I mean, they're trying to make them into girls' bikes. I keep telling them, I go, you just need to add an extra cylinder and about a good 200 pounds, then you can ride a real rally bike, girls.
They'd probably be a lot more comfortable in a lot of sections out there at speed when they're bouncing off stones and stuff, to have a little more weight and stability into into their thing, but they're limited by 450 cc's, which is not even that big of a limit anymore. Those motors are insane.
No,
like they're making so much power and they're going so fast and they're so durable that it's just it's mind-boggling what that engine does. All those engines do.
Yeah, when you look at 3D printed frames, MotoGP level technology on stuff, the electronics that are in the fuel delivery and a lot of the stuff, because now they have a speed limit too. So instead of hitting a rev limiter or the top factory guys, their bikes will not go over 100 kilometers an hour.
Right. The electronics has electronic speed limiter in it, and they're going to have electronic road books this year. Like, it's true cutting edge motorsports technology, and that's the really cool part about this. Obviously, the adventure and that stuff's cool, but there's it's full works. There's no production rule. There's no frame rule. You could do anything you want here. And that's rare these days in motorsport.
It is cool. I wish we could
off the board.
Yeah, I wish we could see more of the bikes, because I have seen the bikes. I wish
they're cool.
They would, it's I don't know, maybe people aren't that much into the tech of this stuff. I wish you could see some of that. And I know some of the companies are pretty protective of what they would want or allow to be seen. And it's
hush hush.
Yeah, if you look at MotoGP, just think MotoGP, but it has knobbies, and that's how
for sure.
How it was
with a looser rule book, I would say.
Yes,
for what you could do to the bike. Like there's a speed limit. It has to have this much gas. It has to have these tires. Like it has to have. You can't change things out, but what you come to the race with can be pretty unlimited.
Hey, I got a question here. You can help answer. This is This is Asher Leto. He just showed up in the chat. So of course, because I'm that kind of guy, he did email in a question. And his question is, I raced District 36 desert race in Plaster City. So first of all, I'm going to apologize for you having to do that. This past Sunday, I was riding, and I'm saying probably not the best choice, a Suzuki DRZ 400S. With proper fork springs and sag, because he's a long time. We told him he should probably get some fork springs, and we always say set your sag. So he said, I also had adjusted the clickers such that I was able to ride the sand whoops without the suspension packing. Okay. At this weekend's race, the bike held well in the hoops. However, in one section, the whoops got really nasty, like those ones trophy trucks make, big and deep.
Big jerks.
I was riding along, pushing in the hoops, so I didn't have to roll them when the guy in front of me crashed. I got a little nervous and let off the gas. The moment I did, the rear end tire kicked out and I was thrown off the bike. How does one prevent this?
Don't follow people that crash.
Well, that's a good start.
Step one.
So I'm going to say, how do you prevent this? First of all, don't ride in hoops, which means don't do the Plaster City desert races. So I'm just striking the obvious here. Don't ride a DRZ 400S, which is a we'll call it a capable light duty dual sport bike.
Dual sport
bike in desert races. and he says, I know I should get a proper race bike. However, this is all I have. And I know if I had better riding skill, I can probably still manage, despite the lack in the bike. So here's this
is a sliding scale, right? The bike has limitations and people have limitations, and they overlap.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a lot better than that bike in sand whoops than that bike is going to get in sand whoops. Like, you are going to outride that bike in sand whoops 99% of the time, no matter what your skill level is. You could be your same skill level on a better bike, and you won't outride its potential.
Correct.
Not even close. You're overriding the bike now.
Probably. Yeah. If you're like not rolling the sand hoops, then you're probably overriding the bikes.
The bike was not designed to do that.
Yeah. And you're dealing with the bike that has a we'll call it an adverse amount of flex. And even though you have your suspension set up, it's still pretty limited. The DRZ 400 specifically kind of rode low in the rear. And then
because it has a low seat height.
Yeah. And
showroom bounce.
All these, exactly. So all of these, a lot of things going against you. And so the reason that the bike kicked here, I'll tell you what happened. So when you saw the guy crash or when you saw what happened, you went from kind of in a semi state of acceleration or kind of on the gas to being off the gas, and your front end was light. And then when you decelerated, it transferred weight up onto the front. And because you were out of balance, your bike steered very quickly to the direction that you were out of balance, because that's how you turn a motorcycle. So it turned the minute that the front end finally went down. It finally did what it wanted to do. And then you probably reacted in a certain way, and then shit happened. And at that point, what happened was that you were out of balance in a lot of different ways. And when you finally got traction, the bike showed you what was up. That's what really happened. But there's
not entirely your fault.
There's so much. Oh, it's 100% your fault. You got on that motorcycle in the morning.
Yeah. I'm just saying that you shouldn't beat yourself up on technique when you're outgunned on equipment. That much in that specific situation. Like that bike's 100% capable of riding through a lot of desert terrain, and actually pretty quickly. Like there's plenty of people that could beat me in a desert race on that thing, no problem.
Right,
but that's the worst case scenario.
That's why I always go back. That's why I always go back to you could always improve as a rider.
Yeah, for sure.
No matter what, I would say that the key thing, there's a maximum speed for that bike, and the difference between a good rider and a medium rider is the good rider will realize exactly what the speed and the capabilities of that bike are, and they won't ride any faster. A medium level rider will try to override the bike, and then what happened to you happened. So that's how I see it as a former professional riding coach. So Ashlito, your question gets answered the minute you show up on the show. How do you like that? And we hopefully we weren't too mean.
Kudos to going out and racing it. Keep racing it until you can get it something else you want to race, and don't stop racing it. Don't stop riding its hand loops if it's in the race. Just slow down in them.
Yeah,
and then catch those people in the flat turns, because that thing's gonna cook around those flat turns, man.
Good on you. And just like when we were talking about with the TT-R 50. You're having a good time. Good time.
I was on hold.
Yeah, TT-R 50 is asleep. I'm not going to talk too loud. I don't want to wake it up right now. It's a little difficult to wake it up. It's like a lot of
phone, tiny boss. What do you want?
A lot of button pushing. Okay. I was trying to see if the other questions are coming up on the show. Ashlito says it makes sense, and then somebody says Troy being nice here, riding DRZ in a race is like riding a donkey in a horse race.
I mean, I say that kind of stuff too, but like I get beat by those guys all the time when I do stuff. Like it's good to be humble as a motorcycle racer, especially if you're a recreational motorcycle racer. If you're a professional, you don't want to be that humble. You're there to work, right? But if you're me and I'm racing any race, hard enduro especially, like you got to know that you're not good at it and be okay with that, because you're not there to be like the best, because there's like a lot of people are getting paid to do that. And bring your donkey to the horse race.
Hey, you know what?
In fact, bring more of your friends on donkeys, and then you're all having a donkey race.
Then you have a donkey race, And if you are going to the horse race on your donkey, what you are going to become is a better rider because of the adversities you have to overcome to get there and do it. And if that's all you got. Hey, John Lyon has a quick question here. Anyone know anything about the Hoto Factory Racing running Dakar this year?
Hoto?
Yeah.
H-O-T-O?
Hoto, yeah. And Arnunas Guzlangelis, 2-time Molly Motor winner, is on the team.
Oh yeah, I don't know what bikes they're riding or anything about them.
Not familiar. Yeah. Hey, have your course yet to be named correspondent.
Yeah, I
check
will.
in
I'll
on
have
that.
him ask you a question. And sometimes I just ask Quinn that, and he's like, "Oh, I know that guy. I worked with him in, Uzbekistan in '98." And you're like, "How do you? What? I thought you were unemployed then." No, I was in Uzbekistan.
Yeah. Hey, there was a question about a Triumph earlier I wanted to address, and it was here. I'm digging
Triumph
into
Rally Team. I hope so.
No, I don't think they have a Triumph Rally Team going.
Come on, man.
Let's see.
Why not?
There was a Triumph question for a long time. It was sitting there, and I
heard a rumor that there's going to be a Kawasaki Rally Team.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeff Probst says, I've not heard. Will Triumph make a good dirt bike, a rally bike, a desert bike, not the old sleds of the 60s and the 70s?
They still make those old sleds of the 60s and 70s. They're called like Bonnevilles and stuff now, I think, or whatever Triumph Scrambler. They have a 1200 XC that's actually a pretty capable off-road bike. Adventure type of thing. But the new generation of Triumph dirt bikes are seemingly pretty good. Yeah. We just wrapped up our 250 shootout for Cycle News, and that thing landed on the podium just thanks to it has a lot of premium components and KYB suspension that's compliant and nice to feel, and it revs really clean. It feels really light. It's the lightest bike in the test, so that's kind of cool. And
I could see, cool. Especially in the cycle world, Cycle News shootout, because I've over the years I've seen how you guys do it, and you do use some, we'll say, guys that aren't full race guys.
Yeah,
you're using a pretty good slice of. I wouldn't say I would agreed with the outcomes of your shootout stuff, but you use a real slice of. You have a real slice of regular guys, so your results are typically kind of mixed up from what we'll call the race media,
racer bros. Yeah.
Sure. And I could see where that Triumph when the 250 specific. Well, the 450 is the same thing. When I rode those bikes, I'm riding it. I'm going, I don't feel like I'm on something different. I feel like they took the best qualities of everything.
Yeah, that's what we said in our shootout. And they just said, this is the best on this one. This is the best on this one. That's what we're going to make.
And none of those best qualities ever stood out anymore. Like because you threw it into one thing, it got polished off. The edges got less sharp, and it's round.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing I felt with the 450. It's like this thing kind of does everything good, which makes it in a shootout scenario
kind of boring.
Well, no, you remember how the Kawasaki's always used to win our shootouts at Dirt Rider magazine, whichever one I was in charge of. Well, they weren't different. It wasn't a Yamaha with the backwards engine. It wasn't Honda with this brand new frame style. It wasn't a KTM that was what's a KTM? Oh, it's not made in Japan. Okay, that's different too. And this is where the thing is, like, I think Triumph right now, especially in the Racer Bro shootouts, it suffers from, it's a Triumph, it's new, it's different. Or
maybe.
And it's always going to be that way because the new thing can't just come in and dominate. There's
sure.
I feel this.
And I'm sure they have their growing pains. I mean, they don't have a really great media team here in the U.S. Their marketing team is growing in off-road. They don't really know how to tailor to that media environment that well. So they're probably missing some opportunities there that they could be.
But what does that matter? I mean, why should that affect the performance of the motorcycle?
It shouldn't, but they could be delivering a bike that, doesn't have a dead battery to somebody. And that could sour someone's opinion. Or if they could be like setting the sag at the shootout for some people.
You remember when?
I'm just saying could be.
I know. Hey, remember
these things could happen.
Remember when I was your boss at Dirt Rider magazine, and we wouldn't let those bikes out of our sight? Did they ever show up at the shootouts with a dead battery?
They were over.
Or I know those days are over. Did they ever show up without?
They were all kickstart then. There was only one bike that had an e-start.
Yeah. Did they ever show up with flat tires?
Nope, no flat tires.
Nope, no flat tires, no dirty air filters. Yeah. somebody, us, was in the shop making sure these things are ready to go. And the reason we did that before you ruined Dirt Rider magazine. I could tell that story if somebody would just request that in the chat.
Yes.
But the reason we did that is because the average customer doesn't have a marketing team.
No, they don't have a guy to set
their
their sag for them.
Wiping their butt and setting the sag. And I understand that the manufacturers are, and this is just from long time, because I'm going to write Monkey Butt 2, and I'm going to explain all this in detail.
Oh, good.
There was ding-dong journalists, and there still are, that don't even know how to do that, and they would go ride a bike that the sag is 140 or something millimeters.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I went to a race the other day, and one of the guys on my team said, "Hey, ride my bike."
You're like, I need to get off this team.
I'm a little heavier than that guy, just a little bit, but enough. And I came back in, and he was telling me how awesome his bike was. And I mean, nothing against. I'm not going to name him. I will someday, but But anyways, I came back in, and he was telling me like his suspension seats off and this and that, and I'm like, the dude, the rear end is so low, it's not allowing the forks to work. And blah 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 blah. And sure enough, the sag was like 118. I don't know, 118 or something like that. It was severely down there. But
yeah, there's small things that make a big difference.
Yes.
And I think that if Triumph had more experience, and I'm sure there'll be more experience next time they do this, they're going to have the best possible bike in front of that person that's writing the story.
Yeah,
that they should. Like, they should be in charge of delivering the best bike on that day, every day. That's their job. And I just don't know if they really know how to do that yet in the dirt bike world. And that's fine. They don't have to know, because they got third in our shootout anyway for the first year. So
hey, I like
for real world people.
It doesn't surprise me. I think in a 250 shootout, I'll just tell you what I think. I don't do shootouts. I just ride bikes and tell you what I really think, and kind of have a good idea of the customers. The bike does not have enough power to be a winner of a 250 shootout.
It doesn't have any torque.
Any torque.
It feels like it doesn't have any torque compared to the other bikes that pull out of that corner.
Yeah. It's no Yamaha.
It revs. It's no Yamaha. It revs free, so it feels like really easy to ride, and then it just keeps going and going and going. And the KTMs were similar to that a while ago, but they made a lot of power on the top end.
Yeah, exactly. I felt the Triumph has flat spots. It has holes. Like if you looked at the chart, there's two dips. There's like a dip kind of where most bikes pick up in the mid range, and then there's also a dip before it gets up on the top. Interestingly, for rideability, I found that to be really good, because I could get into a turn, and I could work the turn where the dip was. And then when I was finally ready to, point and go where I wanted to go, it wasn't then I'm right when the bike picks up back again.
Yeah.
And then same thing up on top, kind of like, so you can land off of a jump, and you can be just where that bike's going to really pick up and take off again, and not be kind of buried in the rev limit, or have it bog into power, is what I like to say. Anyways.
Yeah. It's fun to see new bikes in the class. I love riding all bikes. That's why I still ride dirt bikes as a media person. So it's cool. Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody said Jesse got a return descender when her sent the media kit. Troy, learn how to type.
I wasn't involved. I'm not the full on guy. I just know that from my observations of the shootout and a couple other things that, there's just the establishment's established, and Triumph needs to get in there and assert some dominance and start, making a more aggressive power band, probably, to win some shootouts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna,
if that's important.
They're gonna learn to make the power. I mean, problem is if you build a bike to win a magazine shootout, it's not going to be really good for everybody.
They're very subjective.
Yeah, it kind of can. Matthew Bannon says, curious what you and Jesse think of the development and switchgear to digital road books. How close are we seeing it widely adapted through rallies around the globe, including events like NORA? I might have some insight, so go ahead.
It's not in NORA yet, I don't think, but it's in Dakar this year. Everybody's got a digital road book.
It's required. Required in Dakar this year.
Yep, the first time ever, everybody will have it. They did a little experiment last year with a few of the field. I don't know if it was just Rally 3 or Rally 2 and Rally 3.
I think
a couple other people, but I can't remember.
Yeah, one class had to have it.
Yeah.
The other class, it was optional. And then the pros, they made them stick to the paper because there was still issues.
Yeah, there were still issues, and I think there are still issues with digital road books that the guys are going to be using. I think it's going to be another thing that they kind of have to deal with during the race this year. Not knowing if it's going to be completely visible in all the lighting conditions.
It's not.
Knowing if it's not for sure. Yeah. And just knowing which way they're pointing at which part of the race, how bad that's going to affect them. It's just something they're going to have to think about and deal with.
Yeah, the paper road book rollers and all that stuff. That system was tried and true and developed over many years. So it's not that it wasn't. It's not
without
that
power.
Yeah, it's not that it didn't have any faults and stuff, and it did. There was some issues. Your paper could break. Your glue could come undone. There's just different things that there was mechanical things that happened to it. You're going to have the exact same things happen to the digital ones. I'm sure more so than because it's a first year for the top guys. You're going to hear them complaining about stuff.
Sure,
but they're all using the same things. And So
the biggest thing, I think, a lot of that marking the road book is a ritual. It gets you in the mindset of the day. It gives you like a sort of you can cram before, the session starts. You can you're going to remember some of the stuff you look at, or at least you're going to go through a little relaxing state of, marking dangers and doing this. And, you get in the last few years, it's only been 15 minutes before the stage starts or 20 minutes. But I think that still helps probably during the race to get into the rhythm. And now that's pretty much gone. They don't have that. They're literally, boom, computer screen. I don't know
when it activates, how many minutes before the stage it activates.
Yeah.
But if you
about the same.
If you have it, if you have it for 20 minutes before, you could scroll through the whole thing and take a look at it and do kind of what we'll call your homework before you do it. You're not going to have
you can't physically mark anything. You can't go in and change
the markings they put in there were minimal. Going forward, there was some stuff, and some guys were much better at it. They had a real good procedure, and they knew exactly what they needed to mark and what worked for them. And there's other guys that they were just clueless about what they're doing. They still are. But so in NORA, just because I like to just drop bombs on this podcast, so I can get all the NORA, all 10 of the guys that do NORA that listen to this. We will probably go have the ability for guys to go to digital if they want to. Our concern is that we don't want the digital device on the bike to be capable of doing things like opening up maps and other things. So so we're gonna limit it because we basically just don't want cheating to occur.
You don't want it to be like a connected tablet that you could access the internet and download maps or something like that and just start cheating.
Yeah. So there might be there's some option for locking. And then the other thing is we don't want the ability for the road books to be easily shared. If you have a roll, there were times when we have in the past collected back the road books, the paper ones, but because we just don't want some of the areas to be shared. But by and large, the competitors down there have been very respectful of not going back because we get to ride in some really neat areas that, and this year is no different. They were down there talking to some landowners and some ranchers just yesterday to get us permission to go someplace so cool.
Nice.
And we'll know next week. But super excited about getting everything. By January 1, I'll have a note out to all of the former racers, and we'll have a racer bulletin posted to tell you kind of where we're heading with that. But right now it seems like we're gonna allow. I think we're pretty much for sure going to be able to allow like the tower one because it's not capable of doing any of the stuff. And that's like the Dakar unit. The one is the ERTF. That's there, and it's a required unit that you have to use. I'd like to make it more open so that you could show up with your own tablet, but we're going to maybe it might have to be a limited tablet. That there's a couple of them out there that they're locked, and we just have to make sure that they're locked tablets. or we're going to run it through a program that will, if you open up another program while you're, how do you explain? If you open up the other program while you're running the road book reader, it won't work anymore.
Now you've been stranded.
Yeah. Well, then
self-destruct.
So with me on the phone right now, Roger Doggerel, is Jesse Zeigler. He's the guy who he sent Dirt Rider magazine to the grave. Former, now working at Cycle News from MontanaMotocross.com.
Yeah, dude. That's where it starts.
That's where Jesse, I found him. I don't know how somebody said, hey, you should meet this guy. And we took you over to the Cycle World mini bike track that we'd built back when I worked there. Dudak had my old job there. And I said, here's a camera, or you had a camera, like, hey, shoot some photos of us while we ride mini bikes.
Yeah.
That was your job interview.
That was basically it. I had interned at MX Racer the year before that summer for like a college internship, which I got a friend of a friend who's somebody that worked in advertising, and got hooked up with Andy Taylor and did an internship at MX Racer, and Sean Finley walked in and closed MX Racer the day I was there. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
Your current boss got rid of you.
My current business partner walked in and shut down MX Racer.
Well, so you ruined that magazine too. You got a good track record.
We got a history. So we finished up. I worked on the last issue of MX Racer, and then, met Joe McKinney, who was the art director of Dirt Rider at the time. And, a bunch of the guys there, and Sean, obviously. And then I went back to college and kept in contact with Andy, ended up writing copy for Fox Racing's catalogs for a bunch of years from Andy's connection, and then came back down and was working on a Fox catalog. And that's when I ended up like going over to your house or something when I was working on the Fox catalog and just being like, hey, I need a job. And you're like, well, let's work at Dirt Rider. Let's do it. Yeah.
I think, you got a job interview at the Cycle World mini bike track. And it was like, we needed, I don't remember, because that was when the office was up at Wilshire.
Yeah, the office was in mid-Wilshire in Los Angeles.
Hey,
my roommates that I moved down from Montana lived a block away from the office. It was epic.
You know who we've been watching on YouTube? We were watching videos of Willie's daughter. What was her name?
Musgrave.
Yeah. Well, she's in her heavy metal band. Shout out to Porcelain Pistols.
Porcelain Pistols.
Because she was living at your house for a while, wasn't she?
Yeah, we were roommates when I lived across the street from the office. So I moved.
Ava?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember when her and when the whole family would be out at REM Motocross.
Yeah.
I've had Willie on the show before too.
Oh yeah,
awesome guy, a legend in the motorcycle testing.
And now they're heavy in the go-kart series,
factory
for a few years.
Factory karts. I need it. They got to come out here. They just built a huge go-kart racetrack out here in Pahrump, Nevada, Valley of the Dirt People, where the show is coming to you live from.
Why are they paving the Dirt People's land out there with go-kart tracks?
There's a lot other
Dirt
stuff.
People revolt.
No, they've got the world's longest road race course. I guess it's longer if they connect them all. It's longer than the Nürburgring now. So,
jeez,
got all kinds of stuff. You can. Like I always tell people, if you're coming to Pahrump, you can drive a race car down the street, shoot your automatic weapon out the window. You can have a prostitute next to you. You can have a wild animal like a giraffe or a lion in the back seat. And if you snort cocaine off of her boobs, that's the only illegal thing you've done.
You can't snort cocaine off of wild animals' boobs.
No, the prostitute.
Oh,
you missed that part.
I heard it. I just might hear.
It's all
the chronology of your story confused me.
It's all legal out here.
Legal.
So are you going to do Nora this year?
I don't know, dude. I got 3 kids. My wife's in college because she's trying to get an education again and get smart, even though I don't know why she's trying to do that to me. So. I don't even know. When is Nora? When's the rally?
Last week in April.
Oh, April, huh?
Last week in April. That's when we're doing. We're going to limit the entry, so you better let me know soon because I'm sure you're going to be asking for some sort of a.
It'll be last minute.
Discount.
I'll be like, I've still got an entry, right?
Discount comp entry kind of a thing, which we don't really
media
do.
Guy.
But
media guy entry.
We could talk about getting. We could do some promo with Dakar Daily podcast because you are talking to our audience.
It's the right audience, and
It's
I think
the
if people want
right
to race
audience.
rallies, they got to do them close to home first.
Yep. You could have me
before
on
they
as a
spend all that
guest.
money.
You could have me on as a guest, and I won't really talk about the Dakar. I'll just talk about the Nora as the best rally ever. It's the best.
That'd be weird if you just talk about yourself. That'd be
Why would it be any different?
That'd be so weird. That'd be so off brand.
Speaking of off brand, I wonder if we have any questions. Let's see. Troy Hicks, do not forget the VODP. The sheriff will test your drugs for you.
Oh, VODP.
I don't know.
That's nice.
VODP.
To make sure they're not laced with any dangerous chemicals.
No, I don't have to worry about that.
Maybe.
I'm good with all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. On Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, we like to go into our dashboard of YouTubes and see what our community is saying to us. Let's see. Trevor thinks he's gonna beat me because I have a video with 3.5 million views. And
what's Trevor trying to do? What's he going to beat you with?
Well, he keeps doing these. He's kind of surprised because I told him, hey, if you go do something stupid with bikes like XT250s and KLX 300s and CRF 250s, those will get way more views than your YZ250 video. And so they went and did Big Bear on those bikes.
Yeah, they did.
And they thought it was a race.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, they finished 8th and 9th overall or something like this, and then they
do announce a winner of that ride. So
that's so stupid.
Every year they're like, "Congratulations to our winner," and I'm like, "You guys have to get a permit every year for that."
It's not a race. Yeah, don't.
It's not a race.
The Dill Sport rides are.
We have a winner.
Yeah. If you're curious, and I shouldn't be doing him any favors getting more views, watch the video. When he leaves in the morning, he's riding down the street through a neighborhood, and guys are passing him on the shoulder and over the double yellow line because his CRF 300 will not go much more than 45 miles an hour.
That's fast enough.
Yeah.
I mean, since Trevor's not here to defend himself, that bike actually probably fits him pretty well.
You're right. It does.
He's kind of a good photo model for CRF 300L.
For those kind of things. Yeah, he's a little guy. Yeah. He's definitely not here to defend himself, and I totally agree with you. I think he should stick to riding those kind of things. So so now, since that one's gaining some traction, now he's got the dual sport shootout. So he's doing what we all do in media.
Stealing my ideas, dude.
Repackaging.
Tell him to get his own thing. Why
don't you just buy Dirt Bike Test?
I don't know if I could talk my investors into that.
I may not need to do this anymore. I just had 2 opportunities drop in my lap that are way better than doing
so
this.
So the price
stuff.
is going down. Good.
Yeah.
You could have your podcast show or whatever this is called.
Can somebody come in here and produce it for me and push all the buttons? Because
no, we're not investing any money or personnel.
Oh, because I had Jerry Bernardo on here. He's a big name, isn't he?
I saw that. That was cool. Yeah, that's the best thing I've seen on your show.
There was
better than me.
There was more F-bombs on that show than anything.
We're not going to filter Jerry.
Right. No, we wouldn't. That's why he comes on, because I just let him do it. I think he wore a Lubero whatever mask at one of these things.
The whole time?
Well, one of the other shows that I did. Yeah. So somebody says, also for 2025 in Europe, Kawasaki has a KX300X model. So hoping Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha at least get in this and offer it in a 6-speed as could tag and put lights on it.
Ooh.
KX300X. That's probably one of those companies over there that's just.
I'm not sure what that is. Is that a 300?
Is it the 250? That you know how they have the KX250X. Yeah, kind of like the what's the Honda company, the Red Moto. Yeah, Red Moto does that with the CRF 250 RX.
Yeah, those guys had fuel injected Hondas way before Honda did.
Yeah.
These guys out of Italy.
So let's see.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I did see that Kawasaki teased a KLE bike at EICMA. looks like a mid-sized adventure bike competitor to maybe Tenere 700 or even a smaller displacement rumored in the 500cc world.
Right.
But not sure any details on that other than the thing I saw. So it looks like a Tenere class adventure bike.
Yeah, because
cool.
there is the one hole that's in there would be a performance 500cc sized adventure bike, whether it's single cylinder or twin cylinder.
Yeah,
who knows? I know KTM
not
with
Cove, but CF Moto has the Ibex. Well, that's not an Ibex. Sorry, CF Moto has a 450 twin.
Yeah,
adventure bike. That's pretty cool, I guess. I don't know. I haven't ridden it yet.
Yeah, Elijah Brooks 5859, whatever his number is, says, I'm a shit rider, way too advanced for me. Glad to know my bike will do anything. He's talking about Trevor's video. So, yeah, glad that he identifies as a shit rider.
Yeah.
I sometimes I identify as a shit rider too. So
I do. Every episode of Super Hard, I identify as kind of a shitty rider. I'm not good at this.
Are you guys still doing that?
Yeah, dude, we were going to launch TKO episode. You missed the TKO episode because it hasn't launched yet from Tennessee Knockout this year.
How long ago was that?
That was in August.
Who edits your videos?
We do. Well, we have a guy that edits our videos, but it's not his fault. Trust me, it's our fault.
Oh, why? Because you didn't have enough content?
We're slow at getting stuff to him. No, we have too much content. That's for sure.
Oh, so it's news. It's news that's evergreen.
No, it's just entertainment. It's
entertainment. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're doing with that. You're doing that with Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas from Climb. We go race hard enduros. Race is a loose term, but we go compete at hard enduros.
By the way, you can't see me right now, but I'm wearing a Climb mid layer right now. It's the 3.0. It's the Inversion 3.0.
Getting cozy up there. It's probably cold out.
So nice. It's got the little thumb things that I'll actually hold my hand up and show it right now. Climb it's got little things. So if I get chilly, because I can't afford to heat my house out here in Pahrump because I spend all my money on gasoline to ride my dirt bikes all the time. Just so you know, but this Climb Inversion 3.0. So if you want to know the trick to staying comfortable when you ride all the time, it's layers. And if you want the best layers, I'm here to tell you that I'm 99.9% confident, because Climb is a sponsor of the show, that they make the best layers ever.
Nothing more confident than a sponsor plug.
No, and I just rolled that right into the show content.
Yep. That's how it works, though.
So so Lucas is also probably a big part of my Climb connection. So I got to keep him happy. So he's the star of Super Hard.
He is also in Super Hard with me. Yes.
Also,
I don't think he's the star. I think I might be the. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always thought I would be the star, and he's the supporting character.
Okay. Did anybody?
He's better than I am at hard enduro racing, but I don't think that's important.
Well, since it's Super Hard, you'd want to be the better rider.
I guess so.
How come you guys
I really thought I had him this year at TKO we both rode electric Surons, so it was a pretty even playing field.
Jesus. So you did the electric race?
Yeah, electric bike class, which is probably the most fun I've ever had racing a motorcycle.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
How come you didn't do it with a Stark with 80 horsepower?
I raced a guy named Seth Stevens. He's a mountain biking kid. He's up for a Pink Bike Award, like epic move of the year, because he rode a recumbent bike down the course at Red Bull Rampage on a recumbent. And he's an animal. He's epic. He was racing a Stark, and it looked really hard because it was going really fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some Starks there. There's some cool stuff there because a lot of these guys are building stuff. Like, this is like innovation. People are slapping stuff together. Yeah, the electric bike class, because it's basically open right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's custom stuff, and it's cool.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. I mean, I like production racing. For sure. As long as there's an unlimited class. Involved. There's going to be a production class. If not this year, I don't know if there was one. There will be in the future, just because it's getting kind of crazy. And crazy in a bad way.
No, just like you shouldn't be competing against a stock Suron Light B that has like mountain bike rims in the same class as someone with a custom built platform that's engineered in Silicon Valley, and it's a one-off thing with like a team of engineers there.
Well,
because there's a lot of people that have never raced a motorcycle before. There's like, hey, I have a Sur-Ron, I'll go try it.
Right. But the Sur-Ron, I know the Sur-Ron, like on gnarly technical extreme enduro stuff, can be a big advantage because it's so light.
Yeah, it can be.
It'd be cheating compared to a normal. I think it would be cheating compared to a normal bike.
I honestly think I'm faster at a hard enduro race, especially at TKO
on an
electric bike. Yeah, there's part of me that has no doubt in my mind that it's way easier on that bike than it would be on the gas bike.
I'm trying to think, because when I was setting up King of the Motos, I had a KTM Freeride, not the Freeride E, but the Freeride.
Yeah, the little 250 cc.
Yeah, it was the two-stroke. It was the two-stroke one,
yeah.
And there was a canyon that I didn't think anybody could ride up, and I'm like, I'm going to go try it on this because it was like a trials bike with a seat was the way I looked at it. And I could ride up it on a trials bike, with the exception of there was some loose parts where I needed to sit down, and so I took the KTM Freeride E up there, the KTM Freeride two-stroke up there, and was able to ride up it pretty easy. I was kind of surprised, and then I went and got my 200, and I made it. It was a big suffer, but just the size and the shape of that bike.
Yeah, there's some advantages that
help. So I was,
for me and my skill level, is like no brainer.
So I was thinking, like, well, would it have been easier on the Freeride E?
Yeah,
because all of a sudden there's no more clutch in the.
Yeah, nothing. You just
turn the throttle.
And if it's really extreme terrain, you have a handbrake, and it's like, do not underestimate the benefit of a handbrake.
Oh, I know.
When your bike's pointing straight up and down, like you can just grab it and walk around it. You can stand in front of it and twist the throttle and walk your bike up to you. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I just know from times when your bike starts rolling backwards and you have to put your right foot down.
Yeah, you can put both your feet out and have total brake control all the time. It's kind of fantastic. So, we'll watch the episode. There's a lot of drama going on.
Watch the episode. There we go. Plug.
Super hard. Hard.
Where can somebody find that?
Cycle News YouTube, probably going live tomorrow. So just subscribe to Cycle News YouTube channel. You'll get it.
Get a notification. Don't lose your subscription to a Dirt Bike Test YouTube channel. We got 23 million viewers now, I think it is.
Bajillion?
Well, just millions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Good job.
I didn't buy any of them.
You got all of them in your pocket.
Just if you're that's only on the Instagrams. I try to keep my social media things separate. Like
it's good for the algorithm.
TikTok and my face Twitter thingy, all that stuff.
It's good for the algorithm.
Well, you know what, Jesse, I may hang up on you right now.
Go ahead. Do it.
I'm gonna do something here that I probably shouldn't do, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm going to try to get another special guest on this show. Some guy that told me he didn't want to come on to the show, but because he said he was busy prepping his bike so he got training tomorrow. And I'm going to get him on the show before he goes on your show. So,
all right. Good luck with him.
I think Ricky Brabec will not answer his phone, but I'll when he does, I'm going to put him through the voice-matron.
Do it.
So,
right.
Ron,
talking to you.
Hey, Ron I've been talking about too much electric bikes. I had the guy from Dust Moto on the show before. Interesting dude. That seems like it's going to be that. I think they're on the right path with that thing.
I raced with that. I don't know what level it was of prototype, but he raced at TKO.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they're all enthusiasts and stuff like that. Ron wants to know when I'm going to get a Tesla Cybertruck. When they give me one, when they sponsor this show, Elon.
When they put a Hemi in it?
No, I don't care what
American.
I don't care if it has batteries. If it just has to go a certain distance, it has to get the job done. I don't care. Yeah. You know what? You're the one that has to look at me in the damn thing.
Same.
I had blue flames on my Dodge truck. Carbon fiber flames.
Yeah,
badass, dude.
That thing go.
I still have it.
Oh, good.
I still have it. I don't sell anything. Oh, but I got a lot of motorcycles for sale. So if you're looking for like KTM adventure bikes from $390 all the way up to $1,190, I got those for sale. I got RFS KTMs for sale. Some KTM 500s, older ones. The floodgates are open. Jimmy Lewis call. I don't
Liquidation
know.
sale.
Show up on my I don't know how you get a hold of me. No Roosterendo this week, this show either, because nobody. I think I got one, and so we're gonna double or nothing next time. I don't know when I'm gonna do this show again. It's already hard. Hey, Jesse, thanks a lot for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna
no problem. Anytime.
I'm stoked that you got to follow the TT-R 50.
Yeah. That guy sounded cool.
Tell all your friends that I talked to a motorcycle tonight.
I will. I'll tell them this weird thing happened. I was on a show and then they put me on hold for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then everybody was talking about this talking motorcycle.
So, okay. Sounds good. I will,
right.
I'll catch you all anytime you need me to co-host on your other janky podcast.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Dakar Rally Daily. Coming at you soon.
I'm just going to talk about Nora the whole time because that's the best
Okay,
rally.
that's fine.
Nora Mexican 1000. See you. Okay. See ya.
Good copy. Bye.
Okay, that was Jesse Zeigler from Cycle News. He'll sell you an ad there, but if you really want to get good plugs like you do on this show, you can just call me at Dirt Bike Test. I can hook you up. You can be a sponsor like Yamaha, like Taco Moto, like Scott Sports, of course, Climb, DDC making awesome chain wheels, Trail Tech, makers of the Voyager Pro, and Bulletproof Designs. Double take mirrors. You can help us out by going to our Amazon links or Rocky Mountain links through our website, which now works. Our website is actually live and working, unlike it was 2 weeks ago. Click through the little links, the banner links that support us, and then click on that thing, and then we get a little cut. It helps us out. Another thing that's really important to me and to the motorcycle community is the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is on February 1st. If you want to come meet some motorcycle legends, see some motorcycle legends, you can register. It's free. It's free anymore? It's free to go to the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is a nonprofit. They raise money and try to get shoes to people in need. This is one of them right here. I should probably wear one because I'm in need. I need to renew all my sponsorship contracts and stuff, but you can do that. They've finalized up the inductees. I was a 2023 inductee, so I was lucky enough to be abducted into that Hall of Fame as well. So maybe I will see you at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is on Fremont Street. You can also go to Gene Woods' go-kart track, and if you go in there and tell them Jimmy Lewis sent you, they will probably charge you double. So don't say that. Just say I heard about it on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, and they will give you the same discount that the street vendors will offer you out on the street. It's drifting carts. It's super fun. And let's see, Ron Wilder. I couldn't wait on you, so I did the Solera install this past weekend. Pretty sweet. Ron, I'm kind of confused. Did you ask me a question? I didn't answer it. I'm not sure. Victor. Victor, one of our favorites. He said, just watch the Tour of Idaho again. I should probably read these before I say them out loud, but I'm going to go with it. And I wonder if you will do it again. And has it changed over these last 7 years that you know of? It seems like an epic ride. Whoa. Victor actually asked a normal question. Didn't insult me and didn't talk about Mexican boobies. So Martin is not doing it anymore. He is retired from kind of orchestrating that, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't get the track logs and go do it yourself and do it how you want to do it. Will I do it again? I would like to do something different, another version of that. Go watch the Tour of Idaho video. You can find it on Dirt Bike Test's YouTube channel, and we'll see how that works out. It was a 6-day kind of self-supported ride. I had a good buddy of mine, Will Lyons, film it for me. He was just up there riding. We kind of hooked up. It ended up working out really good. And so check that video out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We answered most of the questions. If you have any motorcycle product related questions, you can ask them in the chat. And what I would really ask you to do is if you have someone with kids, I'm going to repackage that talk I had with the motorcycle, the TT-R 50 here, into its own video, and I'm going to post it up on Dirt Bike Test and tell you why you should buy a motorcycle for your kids. That's kind of what we did with that back then. And I'm going to see if I can get a important guest on the show here. We'll see if this works out. It's always
Jimbo program.
It's Ricky Brabec. You are live on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Oh, shitski.
This is the question where we ask the hard hitting questions. I know that you said you didn't want to come on the show, but it's part of your training program. But
here we are.
This is Media Training 101.
Oh yeah.
I told you. I had the Zeigler guy on. He does that Dakar Daily podcast. He's probably been bugging you.
Yeah.
I told him. I said I can get Ricky on in 10 seconds. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh man. Yeah, here we are. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, episode I think 237. So when you do go on Dakar Daily, I can be there as your legal counsel and stuff, so I can like give you a nod when you shouldn't answer that question or that one's okay. I can help you out.
Thumbs down.
You know, because Quinn works for the other team.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so they're always trying to get some sort of inside info and scoop over there. So I'll keep you on the straight and narrow.
All right, perfect.
So how are things going?
Things are going good. You know, from Morocco, we had a little bit of an issue with an injury, but secretly we've been on the bikes the last 5 weeks. So I haven't been posting much, but behind closed doors, we've been riding and training for quite some time. So I think we're feeling as ready as ever.
I didn't know anything about that. That's news to me. I saw. So I was a little concerned. I saw that you went on the podcast with that. What's that guy's name? Ricky Carmichael. You did the what is the 2-4 podcast?
I'm not sure. I think so.
Yeah, it's just another media call, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I watched it. It came across my YouTube thing, and I'm like, oh, whoa, hey, Ricky's on Ricky's program, and I've known Ricky for a long time. I've interviewed him for a long time, and you know how you're like going, God, I'm talking to Ricky Carmichael. That guy's the best of the best. That guy's the GOAT, right?
Yeah, but you don't want to show that, you know.
well, do you realize that he's the same way? You know, when he was saying that he was impressed and was fascinated by what you guys do, and you can tell he doesn't totally understand it.
Yeah, 100%.
But he and that guy's totally genuine, and he's really good at what he does, and he tries to be very, very professional in the way he asks questions and everything. But I could tell by his reaction, the way he was talking to you, he's fascinated by what you do. He's really impressed. So kudos to because I see him talk. I can see when he talks about like some motocross guys that are actually really good, and he's not impressed. Yeah, he's like, just like when you're like when you talk about like hitting a triple, it's like that's not something I do. Well, he would be petrified to see you go through sand dunes.
Yeah, for sure.
So if anybody's watching, that's the it's on NBC Sports, I think, is who kind of broadcast it.
Ricky's show?
Yeah.
Oh dang! Yeah, I didn't know. I just went for it, and I got tagged in all these things on Instagram. I just shared them.
Yeah, so it was on. I think it's on the NBC Sports because they're the ones that do the Dakar TV show, and then of course they do all of the super motocross shows where Ricky, is a host. I think their whole podcast is kind of syndicated through that sort of thing. So you're going to get a lot of traction out of that, and hopefully, since it's on the same platform, they'll give us little buzzes during the first couple Supercrosses as well.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. So you got to go last year. You got to do a little Supercross tour, yeah?
Yeah, I got to ride around the stadium at, I believe, Anaheim 2.
And you didn't go hit the triple on the rally bike.
No, they won't let me ride the jumps. So Feld's not too stoked on the rally bike on the track.
Yeah. Did you rip the start though?
That would be cool too. Do a wheelie or something.
Yeah.
Honk the horn for the fans.
Yeah. Honk the horn. Yeah. Turn on the GPS, turn on the map book.
Yeah, exactly.
All this stuff. So riding, training's been good. Bikes good?
Bike's been good. Training's been good. I've been doing, I think maybe I'm trying to make up for all the lost time that I was injured. So I've been riding, 3-4 days a week, the last 5 weeks, and, just getting better and better each day. So looking forward to it. Tomorrow we go again, and then I'm out of here on Christmas morning, nice and early. So from tomorrow, I'm not sure when I'm going to do another road book before Dakar or not. However, I might ride on Monday just to.
Hey, did you talk to Sarah about what we did out here?
No,
She didn't tell you about the books we had out here.
no.
Oh, you maybe you want to ask her. They couldn't get through them. There wasn't
difficult.
It's we're doing some stuff. They're working on some stuff like with the, just for their communication in the car between her and Sean, just the way that they're talking.
Yeah.
And she's like, we need to work on this. And so I built a couple of books that they could kind of play around with. And yeah, you should maybe come up here. Do a quick little. It's not that much riding. It's not riding. It's more like trying to. Yeah, it's a little training thing, training exercise.
STFD notes.
STFB, is that what they are?
STFD.
STF. I don't know that one.
The green box.
Oh yeah, lots of green boxes.
We had that today. It was friggin' miserable.
Yeah, exactly. But these are green boxes with one more whole other level. Actually, I'll tell you offline because it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool, but we have to talk about something. So it's called the Title 2-4 podcast. Chris B reminded me, which is thank you, Chris, for doing that. I can't remember what I did this morning, let alone what the name of somebody else's podcast is. So what's the best way? So Instagram is kind of like your main place where you're posting and doing all your stuff, doing stories.
Yeah. Every day in the Dakar, we'll do like stage highlight, stage highlights basically on Instagram every day with a couple photos, and not too sure about stage 2 because stage 2 is like the chrono stage. I don't know if I'm gonna have my phone because I don't bring my phone in the Dakar. So stage 2 probably won't have an update, but every other stage should have an update. And yeah, we'll do like the overall classification, the stage classification, and then just like a brief description every day. For you guys. So when you wake up.
So you have some media that's posting up to your account during the race.
No, it's just me.
Oh, you're doing it. Yeah. In all the hours of free time you have.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I don't know. This year's going to be tough because the first week is big days, like right out of the gate.
Eat, sleep, ride, repeat. Eat, sleep, ride, repeat.
every day.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. You got into that on this show, talking about like, how to eat and how to,
It's eat, try to sleep, race, eat, try to sleep, race.
You should have to sleep in a tent.
We got on the second day and the fifth day.
Oh, there's 2 chronos?
No, there's 1 marathon and 1 chrono.
Okay. Yeah. So for anybody that's listening, kind of explain what the chrono stage is.
The chrono stage is basically 1 stage, but in 2 days. You ride as far as you can on the first day, and then you have to finish what you have left over on the second day. But, you don't get even like a spare change of clothes or anything. You get to one location. They say, okay, you're done. They hand you a tent and a box of like MREs, which are like the ready to eat meals, like the military style meals. And then, you wake up the next day at first daylight, and you're out of there to finish, the 1 stage, but it takes 2 days to do it. And then the marathon stage is more or less the same thing, but it's not one stage. The marathon is 2 stages. So on stage 5, you'll have one stage and then you'll sleep out in the desert. And then stage 6, you'll have another stage, but it counts as 2 stages. And also for the marathon, you can work on your motorcycle. You have like 30 minutes or something to work on your motorcycle. And
chrono stage, can you work on your bike?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can, because you're sleeping out in the desert right next to your motorcycle.
And when you stop at there's certain places you can stop, like different checkpoints. If you pass a certain point at the time, you get to ride to the next checkpoint, correct?
Yeah, correct. And I was just informed today that thing on the chrono stage, there's like, on the first day, there's like 4 spots for neutralization, and all the neutralizations are 30 minutes. So you can't just, ride. I mean, the neutralizations are going to kind of hold you back, because if you have 4 of them at 30 minutes, that's 2 hours of downtime, basically, that, it's 2 hours of daylight that you're losing just in fuel stops.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they're saying that the top riders are going to make it to like kilometer 600. So then that means even on the second day, you'll still have like 360 kilometers to do. And 600 kilometers in one day with 4 fuel stops is a really fast day, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it works out, but yeah, basically you have to pass or arrive to a bivouac at a certain time. And if you're like right on the limit, they're going to stop you there. But if you have like, if they know that you can keep going to the next one, then they're going to keep sending you off.
Yeah. And how do they, so you get what do you sleep in? Do they give you a little tent, but do you get a sleeping bag?
Dude, they give you a tent and like a sleeping bag, and that's it. So you got to like roll your gear up for a pillow. And if it's cold, just sleep in your gear and go without a pillow.
Almost every day on Dakar was like that for me. except
before they made motorhomes.
Well, yeah, there's no motorhomes. I had my tent and I had my sleeping bag. It was in the airplane box. It went every day, and I had like a little pillow. It was like I used to stuff some stuff in the pillow to make it a pillow. It was like a sack, half a pillow with a sack, because there was no room to put this stuff. But I was like wondering, I'm like, how do they know to have enough like pillows and not enough pillows? I mean, enough sleeping bags. They come and drop them with the helicopter when they know how many bikes are there.
Yeah, they have basically like a flight crate that has a bunch of sleeping bags and a bunch of tents. And obviously, like last year in the chrono that we had, I think only like 6 bikes made it to the last sleeping bivouac. So this was like a really small crate, because there wasn't,
they didn't think a lot of people were going to be there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like last Dakar we'd had, I think it was like 600 kilometers, but it was 100% sand dunes, and they weren't thinking that we were going to, make it as far as we did. And I think we made it like 500 something kilometers in the sand dunes. And then the next day we only had like 90 kilometers to go.
Yeah.
But
they'll learn.
Yeah. Next year it's 960 kilometers. So it's a big chrono stage. This is a real one.
That's good. You make it
I guess we shouldn't have talked shit on the chrono stage in 24 saying it was easy. Now they freaking really putting the knife in us.
Hey, the tougher it gets, the more you like it.
Yeah, exactly.
You start smiling a little bit when everybody else is whining.
Yep.
That's good. Hey, so, is there any other kind of new stuff this year that we haven't heard too much about?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't really, we have the tablet. We got the chrono stage second day. We got the marathon on stage 5. We got the mass start on the final day.
Oh, mass start.
Yeah, it's whatever, but
in sand.
Yeah.
Yep. That's easy then.
It's a waste of a day in my opinion, but
does everybody will just ride together?
Yeah, I mean, and it's on the last day, so technically,
Hey,
like,
but if it's close, think about it. If it's close, you can race.
dude, it's in the sand dunes though, so you're not going to ride away from anybody.
No, but it's you play chicken then.
On the last day.
Yeah. But hey, sometimes you have to race to the finish.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. I always liked mass starts because then the first guy across the finish line wins at least that stage. I think they should do them more because then it resets. Then all that strategy stuff can kind of, for sure, it can, because you can know going into, you're not going to pay a penalty by racing into the finish the day before a mass start.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a little bit more sense maybe to have the mass start not on the last day.
Yeah.
Just to mix it up, because they're trying to mix it up with the chrono on stage 2, and they're trying to mix it up with the car routes being a little bit different than the bike routes. But then the mass start on the last day, like, what if the mass start was like on the day before the last day? Because then on stage 10, no matter if you get top 15 or not, you starting in a line, but then the last day it's going to come down to, oh shit, like now I have to play the game on stage 11 to see where I'm going to start for 12. And they can tell if you've stopped.
And just get a 10 or 11 minute lead about day 3 and then just don't worry about it the rest of the rally.
That's always the plan.
Right? Well, awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on, Ricky. Really, really appreciate it. I know I know you love doing all the media.
As I'm sitting on the couch right now, my boxers waiting to go to bed.
Right. Well, somebody's got to get up and ride in the morning. I don't have to dig any more ditches. I'm done with all my shit work. I have a very important meeting tomorrow afternoon, and then I'm probably going to go try to see if my snowboard is still alive.
So you're off for the rest of the year?
I think so. Yeah, because I think my wife got some days off. I think we're gonna load up in the Jimmy hauler and go rip around, and maybe she's gonna go shoot photos, and we're gonna go ride dirt bikes or something like that, and then be watching Dakar.
Heck yeah, there you go. Enjoy it.
So right on, Ricky. Hey, good job on healing back up, and everybody, I'm sure all the Americans are super stoked to have you over there. Say hi to my buddy golf cart navigator Andrew Short. I hope your girlfriend kicks his ass.
Oh yeah, she wants to.
I know. So anyways, yeah, we'll talk soon. We'll talk about maybe we can hit one more practice day, or I can show you how fast I am at navigating these days. Yep.
All right, we'll do it.
Right, Ricky. Take care. Talk to you soon.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
That was American Dakar winner Ricky Brabec, who hates doing media but loves coming on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. Usually he's trying to sell a bike. I was surprised he didn't ask if Rooster Endo was available for him to sell some bikes. But Mike Young loved this interesting show. Thanks, Mike. Mike Young, we've got to talk Husabergs. Me and you and Husabergs and Vertimanis and Vors and racing XR 628s and what it's like for a motocross guy to have to go race in Baja. I should get you on the show. You'd be an awesome guest. You can talk about the old goon riding. You were a professional. So, yeah. Everybody's liking to see that Ricky's there. And Victor comes right back. Are the goats around Morocco hot? They're in Saudi. It's camels, Victor. Come on. You should know this. So, anyways, yeah, nerd riding at Glen Helen. Yeah. Dude, we were some of the best goon riders known to man because we have to one up between me, you, and Shane Trittler. One up in the nerd riding was goon riding was super awesome. So, anyways, it's been a full show. I can't believe I actually went 2 hours tonight. I didn't think I was going to be able to. Thanks to TT-R 50 for coming on the show, being my guest. This is what you want, your kids want for Christmas. Have this guy, hold on. Have this guy bring it. This guy can put one of these in his sleigh, and then he'll dance for you and bring you a new Yamaha. There's also a TT-R 90, a TT-R 125. I would like a TT-R 125 if you're wondering what I want for Christmas. I'll take a TT-R 125, and then we can all be happy. Tell your friends. Put this over here. Tell your friends that they can check out dirtbiketest.com on the internets. That's always good. There we go. Christmas show is coming, and it looks like Santa's pumping Travis's head right now. I didn't do that on purpose. It just happened. Oh, hey, back to the tequila part of the show. So this is my rant at this point. This is where I'm attention. So YouTube's started feeding me tequila videos, like guys that are like bartenders, or there's a name. Somebody in the chat, please tell me what if you're really good at tasting alcohols and stuff, or actually tasting anything. I think there's a name for it. It's like a sriracha or something like that. I don't remember the name, but these people are like professional tasters, and they tell you like which are the good tequilas to drink. I am a tequila risto. It says so on a plaque at the bar down at Ramiro's Mexican restaurant. And that's because I've had certified 200 different tequilas that I've tasted, and you know, over 200 you learn a thing or two about tequila. I know what I like. I know what I like when I taste it. And so I'll kid you not, I'm going to grab it right here. This bottle right here. This is a Clase Azul. Definitely overpriced. Okay? It's a beautiful bottle. Has a bell. Like bell on it, just in case you're wondering. But it is a very, very tasty tequila. I have it on the show every once in a while. This is actually a big bottle. It's a grande bottle. We even have some in the black bottle that a really good friend of mine, I'm staring at it right now, and my mouth's starting to water. Really good friend of mine gave me as a gift. And so we've tried all these different tequilas, and I know what my tongue tells me, which ones I like. And so these guys on these things are saying, oh, they put flavoring in that, and that's not like real tequila because they add a little bit of this and they add a little bit. Well, they're allowed to. Number one, yeah, there we go. Victor said Clase Azules has additives. They're allowed to have like 1% additives. I did a little bit of research on this. Sommelier. Somebody better phonetic that thing. Super yummy. That's what it is. It's called Catador de Tequila, senor. Okay, I'm a tequila risto. It says it's on the plaque. I can't make this up because it is. So they suggested these different tequilas. Say, oh, you may think you want this, but you should have this. And so one was Fortaleza, which I have, and another one was the Cayenne. It's another one that I had. So I sat there and watched this video, and as this guy's he's telling me what is not good. I had some of that. Take a little sip, and I like that. And then I had to have the one, and I go, I don't like that one as much. And then I started, notice since I watched one, of course, then I watch another one. This is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, by the way, where we talk about motorcycles and motorcycle-related products. This is the tequila segment. It's the fifth T that you don't know about. So I tried them both. I did my taste test right there in sync with the guy that was trying these different things. And who are you to tell me which tequila tastes good? That's what I have to say about it. So I'm going to do my own on a different channel, on another channel that I have. It's called the Jimbo Program, if you want to know. I'm going to do my own tequila tasting shootout rundown. And Fortaleza is excellent tequila. Well, Victor, you're Mexican, so what do you know about tequila? Because I know the guys up in Canada that are living underground, they have nothing better to do but have some tequila. Then they're little beady eyes. They don't get all crazy about the labels. By the way, this is one of the best tequilas I've ever had. This Negra is really, really good. So I'll put it on the emergency camera so you can really see. This Tinta Negra is right now currently one of our favorites. Also, if you like a Blanco, these are special recommendations going out to the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday aficionados here. That's also really good. And there's another one down here. There's another one called Regosa that's pretty good. And this is Don Cayo, which is also made in the same distillery. I'm a little low tide right there. So I think I have a bottle or two coming that we're getting imported. I'm going to be going down on my Nora pre-run pretty soon, and I'll definitely be picking up some more. So I'm wondering, my question is, it's French. You're a legend for surviving the Dakar when you did end podium. Thanks, Chris. I don't know what that has to do with tequila, but so Fortaleza was one of these. There was like 2 or 3 that all these guys were recommending, and I'm like, okay, is this like the motorcycle industry? All of a sudden, one of the brands or something is kind of doing a little special extra PR. Not like Yamaha, who sponsors this show, by the way. That's why there's my guest tonight was a TT-R 50. I'm wondering if that, because they didn't do anything like I just did right there and say, but they're all kind of pumping up these brands. So Victor, this is a question for you. Do you think it's the cartel? Do you think the cartel is making these YouTubers say nice things about certain brands of tequila, and then or if you know how you can get me hooked up so I can say really nice things about the tequila. My tastes can change in a second. So anyways, okay, here we go. Victor says, I'm not reading this. I didn't pre-read. Believe it or not, according to Mexicans, if it gives you a bad hangover, it's not good tequila. Okay. I agree. Generally, that is why some don't like additives, because they think it causes the headache the next day. I should save this for my tequila podcast, but I totally agree with you 100%. But there's blendos. I'll do the research on the right word. There's ones that are more blendos where they're blending a lot of stuff, and stuff like the Cuervo Gold and stuff that has color additives and things like that. But there's ones that are, and I can taste the difference when like a tequila like a Blanco, it changes year to year based on the harvest, and some years are good and some years are bad, and they have different tastes, and that trickles down through añejos and reposados in my taste. But there's also some that they want to keep it tasting the same all the time, and then they use some of the additives to do that, but they're not trying to make it anyways. So not really understanding French. I still no comprendo el Frencho either. No, Chris. So look out. Be on the lookout for the tequila tasting pod real soon, because I'm pissed. I don't want somebody to tell me that I'm a schmuck because I like tequilas that may have a little bit of a different flavor. So okay, that's it. I'm done with this show. Hopefully I'll make it back after New Year's. We'll never see. Thanks to all my sponsors. If you want a Bulletproof Designs wooden front disc protector, you can get those at Bulletproof Designs. Just tell them Dirt Bike Test sent you. I have a lot of bikes for sale if you need another Christmas present, but you really should be buying a Yamaha TT-R for your kid, because it'll make them a better person. And with that, I will see you out in the trail. Cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And Victor, can I come to the tequila podcast and get happy with you? You can see it in the comments. We'll see you out in the trail. Cheers. Okay, how do I shut this stupid thing off? I forget every single time. If you liked what you saw in this video, come check us out over at dirtbiketest.com on the webs. We have bike tests, product tests, a lot of fresh dirt, and you can even support us by clicking through our links. Hopefully, we'll see you out in the trail.